We were driving over to our son's house the other night, and as we came around this bend, here was a gigantic buck. It was a deer. It was at least 10 points, maybe 12-point buck, and that is a huge buck. In fact, there was one right nearby that was a little smaller, and it was at least an 8-pointer. And this is not out in the country. This is right in town. And it was like, wow, amazing to see this huge animal right there. And what we found is that the neighbor had been feeding them, so they're coming and feeding right there in town. Now, after we watched them for a moment, they got a little nervous, and they came out into the street and then jumped over this huge barrier. It was a guardrail that deer, both of them, just boom, jumped right over that thing. And it looked like they were just jumping right over into this area that was kind of heading downhill, like a little cliff. I was like, how can it do that? I mean, that was just phenomenal to watch it jump right over and head down this huge hill. You'd think, boy, it's going to fall, it's going to trip, it's going to lose its footing. But it didn't. It didn't. In fact, I looked over that guardrail. I couldn't believe how steep it was there. And as I thought about those two bucks jumping over that guardrail and being so sure-footed, sometimes in our life, it seems like we're going to stumble and we're going to fall, and maybe we're not going to be so sure-footed. Well, that's where a passage like one that's found in the Minor Prophets, I think, really can be helpful for us. It's over in the book of Habakkuk. And we don't often turn there because it's one of those minor prophets, but it has so much powerful information for us. If you take the time to read through it, it deals with the prophetic time of when Judah was coming to its demise. It was about to be over. They were going to go into captivity. That was a fearful time, a worrisome time. But at the very end of the book, Habakkuk was inspired to write about this very concept. And here's what he was inspired to write. He wrote in Habakkuk 3:19, "The Lord is my strength. He will make my feet like deer's feet, and he will make me walk on my high hills." Now you think about that. It's kind of like that 10-point buck. Jumped over that guardrail, not a problem, boom, it was gone. Sure-footed all the way. When it talks about God making our feet like deer's feet, that's what this phrase is talking about. We're going to be sure-footed. We're not going to be tenuous. We're going to make sure that we're going to be steady and strong, and we will not fall. But as long as we're dependent on God, as long as we're looking to God, when God is our strength, we don't have to worry about our footing in life. And so what a great lesson this is. He's not only going to watch over my feet when I'm in those rocky, rough places, but it also says he'll make me walk on high hills, that there are going to be so many blessings that God can pour out when we make sure we put our trust in him, when we make sure he is our strength. So the next time you see a deer, whether it's out in the country or in town, maybe think of Habakkuk 3:19. Let God be your strength, and you'll be sure-footed. That's BT Daily. We'll see you next time.